What up, y'all? It's Yellowbone, the neighborhood customizer. I got about 15 minutes before I need to go to work, but I wanted to go ahead and show y'all how to drop the presser foot on your EM1010, Ricoma EM1010. I'm gonna show you how you take this face plate off and drop the presser foot for each needle. Okay, so come on, let's roll over here. So on your machine, I'm gonna take you off of this real quick. On your machine, you've got these 4 screws either side, 2 screws either side. You've got these 4 screws that you need to loosen, all right? Or take off, and that's how you're gonna take this front plate off. Sorry, y'all, I'm rushing a little bit. I'm trying not to wake my kids up too. Let's see. Now, once you get under this face plate, you've got your plug for your light down here that you're going to want to be careful of. So don't just take this face plate off whenever you get these screws tight. Don't just yank it off and fly away with it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. And these screws can be hard to get off whenever you first take them off. And the trick is to apply pressure, push in while you're twisting so that you can get a good grip on that screw. There's also better screwdrivers than what came with your kit, so I think they work though. I've got plenty of different ones just in case. I actually got this little, what is that? I've got a little screwdriver kit, little tiny screwdriver kit. Uh-oh. Alright, so now I'm going to take this face plate off, and the easiest way to do it is start from the bottom, so you can actually grab this metal piece and pull it out. Start from the bottom and then lift it up, and this is where your wire is right here, your wire with your plug-in for your light. And you can just pull that out of there. It's going to be tucked in pretty good whenever you first take this off. You just pull that out of there, and you've got plenty of slack, so you're not going to yank it out, right? You got plenty of slack, but you can unclip it right here. And I like to just put my face plate up here. Keeps everything where it needs to be. You don't even have to unplug this, but if you want to take your face plate and put it somewhere else, you just squeeze these, squeeze that, and unplug it. All right. Let me turn it off while I'm doing this. Not the smartest idea to play with the wires while your light is on. You end up blowing the light. But let's get down to business. Drop you down. And bring you up. So here's where you are going to drop your presser foot. These needles right here. Okay? When you open it up, they probably look something, something like this. That's probably where they're set at manually. So you can see the one that I dropped here compared to the rest. And let me actually take you off and get you closer. Sorry for the bouncy video, y'all, I'm rushing. Alright, so I've got needle 1, needle 2, and then needle 3 I put back at regular. But look how I've got just like a crescent of space in between the space in your slot and the top of your screw. Let me flip it around. Just that little crescent is what you want to have. This little crescent of space above that screw. You see all this space here? And what this is doing is it's making it so that you're getting a tighter space in between your needle plate and your presser foot, so that your needle can pass through without there being a big gap, which I call the needle break zone, a big gap in between this presser foot and this needle plate, and that gap is the space of where your needle can deviate out of where it is and hit the side of your needle plate and break. So what you're trying to do is close that gap, right? So dropping it all the way down, and you, like if I were to unscrew it and take it all the way up like this, you're gonna get a lot of slamming of the needle into your plate. You're gonna get a lot of louder noises from your machine. Don't go all the way up. Leave that little crescent space. See how they all got a little crescent space in between the space of the slot and the top of the screw? Leave that little crescent space, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and fix these two. These are both wrong. Wrong, wrong, correct. Wrong, wrong, correct. So let me move these back. That one's good. Get them nice and tight because you don't want those to loosen up on you. All right. And we're back in business. So that is how you change the pressure foot height on your EM1010, Ricoma EM1010. I'll go ahead and put this back together so y'all can watch that. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy back together so I can go finish making my coffee and get to work. Let's see, best angle. I'm trying to get it so you can see where that light is. So that's really the important part. And the part that probably worries you. All right. So whenever you're putting this back, I should have unthreaded all my needles. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. That way when I'm putting it back, it's not all getting tangled up. I'd rather re-thread all that than let it get caught up in the machine and mess something up. So what you're gonna do to put this back on is you're gonna take your wire for your light and tuck it back in here, okay? There's nothing back here that's gonna tear that up. So just push it back with your thumb, get clearance from this arm. Get that wire up out the way. Just make sure you're clear of this moving arm right here. And then what I like to do is kind of go the opposite way of that I took it off. So I put the top on first, and then I just let it slide into place. And if you're worried about getting it right where it needs to be, there's indentions. You can see the indention right here where you're screwing it in, and as long as your screws fall into that indention, which they're going to want to do naturally, then you're all good. So easy as pie, we just start screwing back in. And don't screw all the way down on that first screw. You want to get everything in where it needs to be and lined up before you start to tighten it all the way. That way you give this faceplate room to move around and room for you to shift it around. Now I can kind of move it and get those spaces that I was just showing you lined up. And now I can tighten it down. Kind of go in a crisscross motion whenever I'm tightening it down. Make sure I'm not pulling it all up, pulling it all down all at once. Just like putting a tire on a car. I'm sure y'all have heard me say that before. And make sure they're all nice and tight. Don't have to over tighten, but make sure they're nice and snug. That's it, y'all. That's how you change the presser foot height so that you reduce your needle breaks, especially on structured hats. Okay, Bruce, that was for you, my dog. Appreciate you, homie, for always checking me out, for always encouraging me. Appreciate all of y'all at Ricoma on the page, man. Y'all are all so helpful. It's very, very, very good community. I wouldn't diss it for nothing. Y'all take it easy, boy. Yellowbone gotta go to work.